Hi there, this is Josh, co-founder here at Function 365. It's a quick 5-minute video to explain, show, and walk you through replacing Living Matrix inside your clinic and how straightforward that can be with the technology that's built into F365. For those of you who have used Living Matrix in the past, you'll be accustomed to creating matrix diagrams and charts, patient timelines, etc. I'll show you in a brief example of how that looks in F365 post a data migration. Here we're looking at the patient hub, the home screen, if you will, for clinicians and reception members of the team, looking at the profile of a client. We've got the basic profile information, and I'll show you in a minute how to get that out of Living Matrix and how that gets imported in F365. We also have matrix diagrams. These are just some examples. These are interactive in F365, where we want to track the outcomes and improvements of a patient over time as we focus the energy of the team into making the patient's health better and looking after them. I'm going to dive in to the data migration side of how the information gets into F365. This is one of the things that really has caused a lot of concern and challenge for clinicians. How do I get my data out of Living Matrix and how do I get it into another platform? In F365, you want to have two things. One is the profile information for each client, each patient. Okay, so going back here, that's this information. This is really, really straightforward to get into F365 and also to get out of Living Matrix. Okay, so to skip ahead, there is a format for creating this information in F365. And what you need to do is download from Living Matrix the table, right? It's going to come to you in a CSV file of your patients, your clients inside Living Matrix. There's a format to follow, and you want to adjust the columns that come out of Living Matrix to match the ones that are in F365, starting with title, first name, email address, date of birth, etc. Inside F365, you can download a template like this to show you what the columns that you need to follow are to get this into your version of F365. Key point to look to here is the membership ID number. This is a number that we're going to match the patient documents to in a minute, and I'm going to go back and show you where those come in F365. But these numbers here are the Living Matrix ID numbers, which come as the export. It comes in the download that you get from Living Matrix when you download your client data. We're going to use this in F365 to match the profile of the patient with the documents, okay, to create. Here, go past the time, I'll come back to that. What that's going to do is it's going to allow the system to upload the patient documents, okay, like this, by the patient's ID number to automatically attach these. So you might have previous test results. Previous test results. You might have lab tests. You might have your notes, any clinical information you've saved about that client, about that patient. And you can export those from Living Matrix. And it's the ID number that's being used. This ID number here as an example for each patient. That's what's matching the files, okay, for the client. What you can get from the admin menu in F365 is the template, right? So the template of these folders, okay, and they're inside a zip container if you're familiar with zip containers. And all you're doing is simply drag dropping all of the relevant files for Matthew Jones into his folder, right? And he has ID number in this example 1235, okay? And then you can upload Matthew's file, okay, with all of his information, and at the same time, the files for Steve Smith, Melissa Scott, etc. And it's using the F365 is using those ID numbers to match the information that are inside the folders that you've created, that you've exported from Living Matrix into F365. And what that does is attaches those files to the patient's profile, to the correct patient profile inside F365. It's very simple. Timelines, I did mention that before. Timelines are created either by the clinician or by the patient filling out forms in F365. There are dozens of different forms that have been created in F365 to populate these timelines based on the type of questionnaires that you want to ask for your patients. If you're interested in more information about that, please do book a one-to-one demo. We're very happy to go through with you the information about how to do a migration and how to get things set up in F365. Thanks for taking the time. Cheers. Hope to hear from you soon.